Take a look at me now.
Well, get those life vests zipped and clipped, strap down those rods, and put away those tackle bags because we are going fishing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bass Tour Anglers podcast. Thanks for being with us today. This episode, we're going to talk a little bit about a fishing trip that I went on. I was fortunate enough to get out on the water with up-and-coming star Parker Wright. Parker has done great things in tournaments in the West. And he is also a very accomplished bass guide. If you are interested in going out with Parker, check below and we'll have his information for you. If your lakes are anything like our lakes down here in August, the bass tend to get schooled up and they tend to push shad all over the lake. We had a very, very hot day. It was about 95 degrees and the water temperature was in the mid 80s. So it was pretty warm on the surface. And I got the feeling that the bass wanted to stay in deeper water where it was cooler, where there was better oxygen, but they did have the shad pushed up to the surface. Now, on top of that, there was a mayfly hatch of some kind. It was, I believe they were mayflies, but there was some kind of a hatch, and the air was so thick with bugs that the shad were coming up, I believe, to feed on these bugs as they would hit the water, and the bass were right behind them. So you had kind of a perfect world. You had this hatch, I think they were mayflies, shad coming up to eat whatever these flies were because they were thick, they were on the water, they were just above the water. So you had the shad up in shallow water, and of course you had the bass right behind them. One of the things that I have learned the hard way many times is that when you get out there in these conditions and you see bass busting shad in shallow water, your first instinct is to pick up a top water and throw it out there, and certainly I did that on this trip. As I said, I've learned this the hard way many times. What I was seeing, I believe, in these boils was fish that were definitely feeding on shad, but I think what they were doing is they were heading right back down to the water. So a fish comes up, it grabs what it wants to grab, and it turns around, and as it turns around, it causes that boil on the surface, and they're going back down to deeper water where it's more comfortable. There's more oxygen, the water is cooler. You think about air conditioning in your own house, I think that makes a lot of sense. Anyway, Parker had us on a soft plastic jerkbait pattern. He rightly so decided that what we needed to be doing is fishing somewhat under these fish. I have no doubt that we probably could have got a few of them on top water at some point, especially when they were up and they stayed up. But we caught so many fish fishing soft plastic jerkbaits in a little bit deeper water, and it was on virtually the whole day. We started out catching them early, and we were catching them when we decided to go in. It was that good. It was all day. Rookie mistake. I didn't remember to turn the cameras on until about halfway through the morning. Some of the fish that we caught early on were not captured on film, but we got plenty of them on camera, so you'll be able to see what we were doing. The rod I was using primarily to do most of my damage was the Ducket Fishing Triad spinning rod. It's a medium power rod, 7 foot. I really like throwing a spinning rod on a 7 foot. I just feel like I got so much more control over the fish. I have a Paradigm 2500 Ducket reel, spooled with 6-pound soft steel fluorocarbon. You know, it's finesse fishing. There's no doubt about it. Drag is very loose, and the fish that we caught needed to be played out, and that's the way it goes. I mean, if you are fishing finesse style, you need to take a deep breath when that fish strikes, and you need to play them out.
Making long casts over grass in about 6 feet of water, I worked the bait using a twitch, stop, retrieve. The bites came on the pause each time. It was so predictable. I could throw it out, twitch, let it set. If I didn't get bit, twitch, let it set. If I didn't get bit, twitch, let it set. And the fish were biting it on the pause every time. I didn't catch one fish when I was actually twitching the bait. Every bite came on the pause.
I do mine myself. Yeah, I had them do a couple on my last boat. They're all busy and.
I was just wondering how well they took care of their first.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I just got on the team like this year, so I haven't had that come up yet. I know Todd. Oh God, that was sick.
I don't know how well they took
Every time we start telling the story.
My drag was so loose. I didn't think I even got a hook going. I think it hooked me going. Put them in?
Yeah. Look at it, we got a nice bag going now too.
Yeah. Starting to kind of feel like the 13 to 14 pound range.
Mid-morning, the wind really started to blow, but it didn't slow the fishing down. We still continued to catch fish on the soft plastic jerkbait. We went over a stretch, and Parker said that he was monitoring some fish in deeper water. So I decided to pick up my drop shot rod and fish out a little bit deeper and see what we could do.
There's a massive school of fish right next to us. I don't know if they're carp or the bass or what they are.
You know, it's funny you said that because I just saw a big white flash right out in front of the boat.
Did you?
Yeah. And I thought, whoa.
Yeah, I don't know what they are, but they've been sitting here for a while now. That's why I kind of anchored them down. I was like, dude, it's not either bass or the carp. I can see the shapes of them out there, but.
So at that point, I decided to put down the rod that was catching all the fish and to pick up a drop shot because these fish were in a little bit deeper water. Now, the rod that I picked up to drop shot with is the Duckett Pro Series Dean Rojas model. This is a 6'9" rod, a little bit heavier in that medium heavy range. I like that heavier tip for drop shot. I feel like I can feel my bait on the bottom better. And sure enough, those fish that we metered were also active, working that bait uphill, put an extra fish or two in the boat for us. And it's just one of those things. I don't like to put down a rod that I'm catching fish on. I don't like to put down a bait that I'm catching fish on. But when you're moving down a bank and you meter fish that look active in deeper water, kind of hard to resist that. It's kind of hard to resist it. I think we made contact with a group of fish that we wouldn't have made contact with had we continued to fish that, that 3 to 6 foot range with the soft plastic jerkbaits. Right underneath us, huh?
Yeah, right by, it's like right back out here actually, I think. You gonna throw a drop shot back out there?
I might throw a drop shot.
Yeah, that's a good idea. A little worm.
I brought some 6 inches. I'm sure they would eat that too, right?
Yeah. It's better that you realize it now and you didn't let it. Sometimes I'll go all day.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I caught like 3 good ones on a jig right away, and then I didn't fish the rest of the day. You're already going to be home. changed with mine. Because, you know, I can walk around my boat. Power pole,
Huh? Jeez.
right? Dude. See what I mean, though? You fish a little bit deeper and
Yeah.
you get a little bit fatter fish.
Absolutely.
They're just down there chilling.
You want to put these guys in the live well
Yeah,
too?
for sure.
I don't think my cameras are set up. Oh, look at this hook. Comes right out of his mouth. Shoot. Whoop.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's pushing 3 pounds.
That's over 3 for sure. I'm on the big side.
Again, putting down a rod. I'm having a hard time holding on.
In the wind, huh?
Yeah, let me see what a jig does on that. Good to hear you.
Those can be fast. They are. There's fucking 100 of them right there. Yeah, he was on like some brand that just started up, and then he left them, and now I think he's with Shimano now. But I'm not positive though, but I'm pretty sure he's with Shimano. That's so get bit.
I don't know. It felt kind of mushy.
While the soft plastic jerkbait bite was clearly our best bite of the day, again, we caught between 25 and 30 fish on that. We also had a good secondary pattern, drop shotting in a little bit deeper water, probably in that 15-foot range. It was slower. Had we fished that all day, I'm sure we could have caught a limit, maybe caught upwards of 8 to 10 fish like that, but it was slower. But again, a good secondary pattern. Whenever we would meter fish, we could drop and catch them pretty well. We also got on a little bit of a crankbait bite. Parker threw crankbaits while I was throwing the soft plastic jerkbait, and he picked up several fish doing this. Those fish didn't seem to be quite as reliable, and I think if we had fished just crankbaits all day, we probably could have come close to a limit at least, probably got a 5-fish limit. But again, in terms of what actually worked for us and what was the main money pattern, I would say was definitely that soft plastic jerkbait bite.
Spider. got 3. You want to put 4?
I don't know.
Might as well keep 4.
Yeah.
Oh. That's exactly where I caught that one, last one too. Right on the top of that white spot. Guy, right?
Yeah.
You need the net?
Look at those yellow boats down here.
I don't know, but they're Hawkeye and
Guy's been he's kind. He's got some
Wounded Warrior.
He's got
Hell yeah. Very well might be. What's that? Try that little corner right next to that rock pile.
yeah.
Right after I did well in a tournament, he's like, dude, we gotta get you a new bow. And I was like, man, yeah, I'd love to. And so he's like, come out of the office and we'll talk about it. So we kind of talked it out. He like gave me some options, and one of the options was like getting a sponsorship through Ranger and that and this, and this boat was like ready to go, and so he just slid me into it, you know. I was like, it was pretty much exactly what I wanted, color wise and layout wise.
Yeah.
Like everything was going to be exactly the same. Colors were going to be pretty much exactly the same. Nothing?
Let me get that. That was a big keeper.
Yeah, there's a good rock back there. like a machine gun bite.
Oh, what's a bigger fish.
I saw that one bite it too.
Yeah.
Back flipper. Luckily, there's nothing you can get you snagged in right here, so you're good.
Ooh, got a pretty good size. Ooh, here's my goal.
Barely tell.
Yeah. Got a scale? Should we weigh our limit today?
Yeah, absolutely.
As we got to the end of the day, we wanted to go out and see if we could get one more big fish. Thought we had a few spots that we might be able to go out and throw a frog. Well, as it turns out, we found some froggy looking water, but we didn't find any frog fish. Fished that right up until the end before we called it quits. And then we went in and took some pictures, weighed our fish. The best 5 that we had, the 5 that we kept in the live well, weighed right in at 16 pounds.
Got it. Well, that's a nice hand off. Put it on wide mode. Oh, dude, that one looks so fat. I just ate a fly.
Yeah, I did too, man. Pretty good day for the middle of the summer on a Southern California lake in 95-degree weather. And again, thanks to Parker for putting this all together and getting me on the water, and just for a tremendous day of fishing. One of the best days fishing I've had in a long time. I really enjoy it.